The Galaxy S26 series isn't just another refresh, it's a complete rethink of Samsung's flagship lineup. The biggest surprise? Samsung has ditched its signature flush camera design. That's right, all three new models are coming with a raised camera module, something fans of the Galaxy S line haven't seen in years. It's a bold move that signals Samsung is ready to shake things up. So why does this matter? For one, design is as much about identity as it is about hardware. The flush lenses were sleek and minimalist, but they also blurred the line between Samsung and its competitors. By moving to a raised camera bump, Samsung is giving these devices a more pronounced character. Whether you love it or hate it, it's going to make the S26 series stand out in a crowd, and that's exactly what Samsung needs as competition from Apple, Google, and Chinese brands keeps heating up. Let's start with the Galaxy S26 Pro. This model replaces the base Galaxy S25, and while it's the entry version of the lineup, it's hardly basic. The Pro will feature a 6.27-inch display with slimmer bezels and a 120Hz refresh rate, giving it a polished, fluid look and feel. Under the hood, you'll get Samsung's new 2nm Exynos 2600 in most markets, while the US, Canada, and China will get Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 for Galaxy built on TSMC's 3nm process. That's a smart split. Samsung gets to showcase its chip advancements, but users in key markets still get Qualcomm's proven efficiency and performance. Specs-wise, the Pro offers up to 12GB of RAM and as much as 512GB of storage, so multitasking and storage won't be a problem. The cameras include a 50-megapixel primary shooter, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto lens. It's not groundbreaking, but it's balanced. And the 4300 mAh battery with 45-watt fast charging and Key 2 magnetic charging adds modern convenience. For most people, the Pro is probably going to hit the sweet spot. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The Galaxy S26 Edge. Samsung is bringing back the Edge branding, but this isn't just about curves on a screen. This phone is shockingly thin, just 5.5 millimeters thick, making it slimmer than almost anything else on the market. That's 1.2 millimeters thinner than the Pro. And when you think about it, shaving that much off an already slim device is no small engineering feat. The Edge will come with a 6.7-inch AMOLED display, QHD plus resolution, and a 120Hz refresh rate, so it's designed for immersive visuals. Powering it is the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 for Galaxy, again from TSMC. Like the Pro, it packs up to 12GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, but the real showpiece is the camera setup, a 200-megapixel main sensor and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide. The horizontal design is interesting. It almost looks like something Apple would do, and that's probably not a coincidence. Samsung seems to be taking design cues from its biggest rival. The Edge also has a 4300 mAh battery with Key 2 charging, which is impressive considering how thin it is. And then there's the heavyweight, the Galaxy S26 Ultra. This year, Samsung has softened its edges, literally. The Ultra has rounder corners compared to the sharp industrial look of past models, making it feel less like a tech brick and more like a refined piece of hardware. The Ultra will sport a 6.9-inch AMOLED display with third-generation anti-reflective glass, meaning better visibility in bright light and fewer annoying reflections. Unlike the other two models, every Ultra will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 for Galaxy, ensuring top-tier performance across the board. This is the device for power users, with up to 16GB of RAM and a staggering 1TB of storage. The raised camera module houses a beastly system, a 200-megapixel primary, a 50-megapixel periscope telephoto, a 12-megapixel telephoto, and a 50-megapixel ultra-wide. It's one of the most versatile setups you'll see in 2025. The only disappointment? The battery. At 5,000 mAh, it's the same as before, and many Samsung fans were hoping for an upgrade. With all that power under the hood, battery life could still be a concern. Taken together, the S26 lineup shows Samsung is willing to take risks with design while keeping performance at the cutting edge. The Pro is a well-rounded daily driver, the Edge is a bold experiment in thinness and Apple-like design, and the Ultra is the all-out powerhouse. What stands out to me is how Samsung is walking a fine line between innovation and imitation. The raised camera bumps and horizontal layout on the Edge, for example, echo Apple's playbook. But at the same time, making a phone that's only 5.5 millimeters thick is something Apple hasn't even tried. It's a reminder that in today's market, the biggest battles aren't just about specs, they're about perception. So when these phones launch in early 2026, the real question won't just be which model is right for you, it'll be whether Samsung's new design language is bold enough to pull people away from iPhones, Pixels, and the growing wave of Chinese flagships. One thing's for sure, Samsung has set the stage for a very interesting start to the year. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. See you in the next video. Take care.